Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining our Agent Advantage webinar this month. My name is Kurt Klaus. Sorry we are a minute late. We are working on our video hookup, but thanks for joining today's webinar. We do these webinars on the first Wednesday of each month, typically. This month, we're doing it a week later. But if you're not a regular viewer to these webinars, look for a different webinar each and every month. These webinars are brought to you by the entire Guaranteed Rate family of companies. It's not just rate, but it's affinity and proper and certainty and citywide. So our entire rate family of companies put these webinars on, and we are so happy you are here. They're also brought to you by our Agent Advantage website, which is a shared service by all of our rate companies. The rate version is agents.rate.com, if you are familiar with that. Today's webinar is Sharing Success. We bring in big top agents to share their tips and best practices and success with you, our audience, and we are happy to have Crystell Harris from Memphis on this week to share what she's doing. Before I bring Crystell on, I would like to give a mention to the website. If you do not already have an account, it again is agents.rate.com for the rate version. If you're working with another company, each one has their own specific version. What is Agent Advantage? It is a no-cost website for you, the real estate agent, to help with efficiency and to help you do more business. It has a loan dashboard to track your loans with us. It has a full CRM marketing platform powered by Total Expert that you can take advantage of. It has all of our collateral plugged in. It's got a coaching piece, which has webinars like this one. We do different topics every month, social media help. We've had Tom Ferry content in, big agents like today. So if you're not part of Agent Advantage, check that out. We also have an Agent Advantage Insider Facebook page. Closed group, go to Facebook, search Agent Advantage Insider, or you can click that QR code to request to join. And again, today we are thrilled and fortunate to have from Memphis, Crystell Harris, who is the founder of Harris & Harris Realty Group in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to see if I can switch to our camera and bring on Crystell. How are you, Crystell? Are you there?
I'm here. How are you?
I am doing great. We really appreciate you coming on and being a part of these webinars with us to share what you do and what you got going on in Memphis with our agent audience.
Absolutely.
So how about we start with maybe a quick introduction, tell people who you are, where you are, about your team, and maybe how you got into the business, and we will roll from there.
Okay, well, thank you so much for having me. I am a avid user of Guarantee Rate, and I am also an avid user of this Agent Advantage, and I think that it is an amazing tool. My name is Crystell Harris. I am principal broker owner of Harris & Harris Realty Group, founded in 2021. I have been in real estate about 8 years, and I am licensed in Tennessee, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Georgia, and I am a broker in Tennessee, Mississippi, and Arkansas.
And just recently in Arkansas, correct?
Correct. Well, I've always been a salesperson in Arkansas, but I just recently established my brokerage name as well as my broker license in Arkansas as well. So I am now a broker. I upgraded my license from a salesperson to a broker.
Very good. And I have lots of questions for you today, but 8 years in the business, correct?
Yes, sir.
So I want to ask you, and I'm sure other agents want to know, how, when you started, were you able to scale your business? I know your background, you come from HR, so you were working with people, but tell us how you got in and transitioned into real estate and how things were back 8 years ago, if you can remember, and kind of how you grew and scaled to where you are now.
Absolutely. I will say that my success comes from my community outreach that I do. I do a lot of community networking as far as I do a lot of community outreach things such as angel trees around Christmas. I do a lot of around Thanksgiving. I frequent the nursing homes in the area because the elderly is one of the things that I do realize that are most forgotten about during the holidays. So with me getting into the community more and actually being active on social media is how I grew my business, and I grew it very swiftly. I got licensed in 17, and ever since I've been licensed, my business has grown every year actually, and that has always been my goal to make sure that my numbers are always exceeding the prior year. That's how I determine my success in real estate. And with doing so, social media played a massive key and role in my success. And I always tell people that ask me about my success and how I grew so fast and to be as successful as I have been in real estate, it's definitely due to social media and word of mouth. And I think that is what's most slept on in the real estate market.
Yeah, I definitely want to get into your social and what you're doing on video and Instagram. So
Yeah.
you started out as an individual agent, and
Hmm.
Harrison Harris, what about tell us about the team, how many members, how that grew, and how you built your team, and what was, thinking back, what was, key and what was important about, the others you added and when you added
Hmm.
them to where the team is now.
Yeah. Excuse me, when I initially started Harrison Harris Realty Group, I knew I wanted it to be more of an elite boutique style brokerage. I had and have a lot of real estate agents that reach out to me to start, but I am more into grooming my more seasoned real estate agents. So I do not accept newer agents simply because I have a brokerage to build. So in doing so, I was very aware on my goal and how I wanted to groom the current agents that I have. When we started Harrison Harris Realty Group, I would say it was myself, and four other agents that came from the previous brokerage that I came from. That is actually how I converted to HHRG, and it did start from they converted with me with the opening of Harrison Harris Realty Group, even before we got the actual storefront building that we have now located in downtown Memphis. So we started off with four plus myself, and I just basically grew from there. It was some other seasoned agents that I ran across, and they wanted to join as well. But I have no desire to build my brokerage more than 20 because realistically, there's no way that I can effectively manage and groom and support more than that. With me being an active top producing agent myself.
So you're at a good number. Yeah, the
Yeah.
our local loan officers there say you bring a ton of business in. So you're at a good number, sweet spot where you're not looking to go, even with expanding to
Hmm.
Arkansas, or you just add another state. How did that come about? Were you looking to,
Yes.
cross
So
state lines and get
funny
licensed
story,
somewhere
Kurt.
else?
So I love Arkansas, and specifically Hot Springs, Arkansas, and it's simply because my husband and I were married there, and that is where I love to go just for like a quick mental break. It's not far from us. It doesn't take all of the hustle and bustle of an airport. And it's just a 3 hour drive from where we are, where we reside. So I have just found Arkansas to be a little piece of my heaven. So with knowing that, I was very conscious. That was a very conscious decision that I made with getting licensed in Arkansas, especially knowing that there aren't many African American women brokers there that I've done my research on. So I did want to kind of tiptoe into that market. One of my agents here at HHRG is also licensed in Arkansas as well. Right now, it's only just the two of us, and she has done business in Marion and she resides in Marion. So it kind of piqued my interest, and it's especially to expand my brokerage to accommodate other agents and their their wants and needs for the Arkansas brokerage to be in Arkansas as well. So that's what pushed me to get my broker's license there, because I have been licensed in Arkansas and I don't do much business there right now. And that's simply because what I did not want to do is promote a company that I knew that I did not want to be a part of long term and spend all of that marketing dollars into that. So I waited until I am actually my own broker and my own brokerage is there, so that way I won't feel like I'm wasting marketing dollars when I knew what my intentions were for Arkansas. So I'm
Yeah.
super excited about that.
Yeah, I've been there. It's a great getaway, like you said, great history there,
So
great
excited.
weekend resort. Let's
Yeah.
start with your strength. You mentioned you social. You do cool Instagram videos. You do homegirl experience. A lot of
Mhm.
positive videos. You know, you're
Yeah.
sharing content. You know, I like that you
Thank you.
focus on a topic each time. You know, equity, for example. Like, do you know, most people have so much equity in their home. If you want, you know, a home valuation, contact me.
Mhm.
Just like dropping in little ways to contact, and you do, you know,
Yeah.
a lot of things from debt to taxes. So there's many reasons why I would contact you, because you're the expert in so much more than real estate. But talk to the agent that isn't on board yet with video, how you got started. Do you do them yourself? You know, how do you produce and push these out? What's the frequency? Talk about your video strategy and your social strategy.
Absolutely. So I actually do all of my own social media content. I do that myself, and I always people are surprised that I actually have the time to do it. But honestly, that is one thing that I do tell my agents with HHRG. I do let them know that you always have time, whether you have an hour of downtime, and it's all about structuring your day. In order for you to be successful and use your time wisely and to use it to be effective, you must have a structure of your day. One thing that I learned in the leadership class, because I am a graduate of the Memphis Area Association of Realtors leadership program, and I'm also currently in a leadership program with Mississippi, NWMAR Mississippi leadership as well. And in those classes, I did learn one thing that I do want to share is not being distracted. And that's one thing that I say that stuck with me with both classes that I learned. It takes you about 3 to 4 hours realistically for you to get back on track to doing what you were doing. If you get a text that come about, or if you get a phone call that's unexpected, you get an unexpected email. So that's why when I am creating content, or if I'm doing something that I have on my list of my to-do list, I always make sure that I have my phone on do not disturb, and I make sure that I am able to finish this task without having 10 tasks going on at one time and nothing has been completed. So that's one tip of advice that I would always do. If you have a ledger for the day and you have a schedule set out, do everything in your power to make sure that you complete that schedule. And social media is one of them. I do catch myself sometimes in the middle of posting or creating a caption. There's so many options right now, just like your Chat GPT. So if I'm stuck on a caption, I have my pictures uploaded, which I found old pictures. You know, reproducing pictures are always a good thing. And when I post the pictures, I go straight to Chat GPT and say, hey, I need a caption for the topic of home down payment assistance. And that's exactly what I did with the down payment assistance caption that I just did for my Arkansas down payment assistance post that I posted on yesterday. So there's so many different things that we can utilize to assist us with posting, because that's one of the excuses that I hear often, and I say excuses because that's what I take it as. Oh, I can't think of a caption, or I hate to be on social media. There are even options on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and everywhere else where you can schedule your posting. So I will say that 90% of my clientele, maybe 85% of my clientele, comes from social media posting, because it is such a when you're posting, it catches the attention, and people that really want to buy, that it's like, oh, I was just thinking about this, let me contact her. So it is definitely something that has helped my career tremendously, and without social media, I do not believe that I will be as successful as I am.
Yeah, I mean, powerful not just
Totally.
for the message that you're sharing, but I think to share your personality and
Mhm.
email, you know, print collateral, but to see you on video, to feel that I know you, and to learn to work with people you like and you trust and
Absolutely.
there's no better way to get in front of people, especially when you're working in different states and you can't be face to
Mhm.
face. And to everyone on the call, she is able to do this herself. There's nothing more important than her social and her video marketing. So I know people are a little nervous or intimidated by doing it, and to do it
Yeah.
real, some of them are in your car like others do. It doesn't have to be produced. You don't have to have a team to
Right.
do it, but you're
Yeah.
shooting on your phone, correct? And you're just,
Correct.
yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
um, Talking about trust and other reasons to work with you, speak to kind of the other things that you offer to your clients. I know you're, investing, tax prep, financial decisions, credit, like things like that. You're so much more than just, oh, I want to buy, or I want to sell.
Right.
You're kind of a trusted advisor, and like I said earlier, it just gives people more
Mhm.
reasons to think of you and contact you when they need help for anything.
Absolutely. Um, and to touch bases on all of those different services that I offer, and they all came about because they all mesh well together. One thing that I always tell people that you don't want to be the jack of all trade and a master of none.
Mm,
So I see a lot of people getting into real estate thinking that it's gonna just come to them and that is furthest from the truth, in my opinion. I do feel like real estate is something that you have to dedicate your time to. You have to respect the field, because it's not going to be something where you're going to have people come to you. And one thing that I do want to say to the agents that have just starting off, and have not gotten the traction they want to have, just recall and remember that every agent that start off, they're not going to be multi-million dollar producers immediately. That doesn't happen. If it happens, it's in rare cases. But for myself, I will say that if you're consistent, consistency is the absolute key to making sure that you're going to be successful. And there's no way that you can just hop into real estate. You need to learn. If in your downtime, I tell my agents often, in your downtime, just consider it a time for you to gather your thoughts and gather your content. You can create content in one day. You can do a week or a month of content within one day. You don't have to wear makeup and dress up every day, because I don't. To be truthfully transparent with you, I rarely ever get fancy and just do videos or just wear suits every day. That's just not realistic for me. I am not a flashy person, so I don't want you to think that you have to get caught up in the aspect of purchasing a designer or wearing expensive clothing to feel like you have to be or wear those things and be that person to be successful, because I am here to tell you that I do not dress up every day and I do not wear makeup every day, but I do when it is necessary. But that does not determine your success level. It is about trust, like you stated previously. Trust is a huge factor. So when I initially started doing taxes, and then after doing taxes, I've always been a fan of credit. And I knew that generally here in Memphis, I do know that credit does it's a shortfall here. So I assisted. So everything that I've done has always been to assist my clientele base to a point to where they can achieve generational wealth. And that is what I am known for here. I am known for assisting people with achieving generational wealth. And I'm grateful to have that reputation here, because that is something that is most needed. And it's coming from somebody that has been in the shoes of made mistakes and have accomplished many things, as well as owning properties. I own multiple commercial buildings. We have a $1 million building here downtown Memphis that we own outright with no liens. These are things that are very accomplishable if you are consistent. And do not compare. Compare is the thief of all. It is a thief of all joy, and simply because you will look at another agent on social media, it's like, hey, oh, I don't have the kind of time, or I don't have, the money to produce. You can do your content right from your cell phone like I do. I barely have a ring light. So it's not necessary for you to go and spend thousands of dollars on equipment to do content, because I do just fine using my typical basic TikTok to combine my videos, as well as, the Canva is my best friend. So there is really no excuse on why you don't produce anything content wise on social media.
Yeah, well said. When I know through key points, you talked about consistency,
Yeah.
and I wanted to dovetail that into kind of your time blocking and
Hmm.
for yourself and for your agents that you coach and work with.
Right.
Do you have a set, you know, blocking of each day and each week? Do you set goals? How do you manage and balance your time, and how do you structure your days? What's a typical day and week like for Crystell Harris? Do you have a set plan with prospecting or creating content, or like talk
Such
talk
a
about
loaded question.
talk about what you are consistent in doing so others can, to know what your day-to-day work life is.
So for me, my days, and that's in the real estate period, you may get a random call one morning and say, hey, can I schedule a call with you at noon to discuss my home ownership option? So obviously your schedule cannot be really planned in advance as much as we would like it to be with a 9 to 5, quote unquote, for a 9 to 5 position job, corporate America. But I will say for me, when I wake up in the morning, I literally determine my day right then. So if I don't have much going on, I will treat myself to lunch or call another real estate girlfriend and say, hey, I have free time. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. Like, hey, I got free time from 12 to 1. You want to go to lunch? If they say no, I go by myself. Within that time, I always make sure that everything is content, right? So it doesn't always have to be about real estate. They do want people, potential buyers, potential sellers, so as you stated, they want to feel some type of attachment to you, and they want to feel like they know you. So you don't have to put all of your personal business on social media, but you actually can put your personality on social media, and that is definitely what gets me my business. And I am very approachable, I am very relatable. So when I go to different things, different restaurants, or different places like furniture stores, because I do a lot of designing of my properties. I don't do that as a side, but I do design my own property. So with that being said, if I'm going to Home Depot or Lowe's, I make that content. Everybody don't want to always see and hear about real estate, real estate, real estate. But if I am going somewhere, that's content. So if I'm driving down the street and I see a house for sale, or I see something odd, I'll take a video of it and put a caption to it, and that's content. So those are actually the videos and the content that you will get the most views from. So I highly recommend, if you're going out to lunch with your husband, or you're going to take your children somewhere, you can take a couple of seconds out to just do some content, because now they see you with their family. So, oh, she has kids and so do I. Oh, she's a great real estate agent and she has children and a husband. So that is promising to other agents and to other homeowners to show, hey, I'm a homeowner myself. Not only do I own homes, I own 2 Airbnb short-term rentals, and I also have some properties that are in the process right now of being renovated or rehab. So I always try to share those things to let people know, like, hey, I can do everything. I am a woman in real estate, and I am still able to be an investor, a mother, a wife, a sister, and a friend. You can do those things, because all of the marketing that I do on social media, people really do not believe that I do it myself unless you are around me. I have a lot of friends of mine, and real estate associates. They're all, when they're around me, they're like, "Did you just post that?" And we're sitting at lunch. It took me 2 seconds to do it. So we have to make the time, and I think that's one of the downfalls for newer agents and too busy agents. I think that's the downfall, and I think that is a lot of potential being wasted simply because they don't take the time to do that. So there should be a calendar. Actually, I would say maybe on like a Pinterest or even Etsy, they have real estate monthly calendars, and they're only like $5 or $6. You go on there, it'll tell you, like, for those 30 days, it'll say, hey, today you'll post something about interior design, and then the next day you'll post something about. It'll tell you what to post, and all you literally have to do is go on Chat GPT, get the verbiage that you want to put for the caption. Google a picture, find a picture, use one of your own pictures, take a picture of your living room, or take a picture of your car, or take a picture of something like that, and then make a post, and that's your content. So I think that there's just many, many things that can be used as content, and I think that that is the main thing that is being overlooked and overshadowed that could possibly cause much success to people if they would just try it.
And there's effective content calendars and schedules out there, templates that you can follow. There's no
Yes.
right or wrong, but that would
No.
give you variety and you know, some type of plan to
Absolutely.
follow. Yeah, well
Yeah.
said.
Yeah. Thank you.
You talk about tech that helps you. You talk about ChatGPT. What other technology do you use that you find super valuable, whether it's organizational or, you know, with your business or managing your database? Any other tech that you use or your team uses that you love and couldn't live without?
I would say for me, that would be my CRM.
Mm,
I think that people just have no idea on how much business flows through a CRM. I think that is also a tool that people just don't utilize. And CRMs could be embedded in many different things, and they probably already have it and don't use it or utilize it. So for me personally, I do use you guys is the total expert. I think that's an
yep.
amazing too, by the way, because I just actually posted some with the agent with the total expert. So the total expert option that you guys offer is absolutely amazing. I do that for my listings because it literally co-brands with you guys and with us, and that I think that too would be so much more um less affordable if you were not actively in real estate and producing in real estate. It's probably something that people can't afford, but they do have access to at no cost. I think that is something they need to take advantage of, as well as the Asian Advantage. Asian Advantage works great for me because typically if you are, well, I know Tennessee and all the states that I'm licensed in, you are required to put all of your brokerage information under any caption you're referring to real estate. So you have to put your name, the brokerage name, the email, the brokerage name, address, office number, and you can add your cell phone number as well. And I always add my website. So on my website, I have it linked to other options. So they don't have to go to 3 or 4 or 5 different links. Everything is a hyperlink on my website. So my website is thecrystellharris.com. And when you go there, you can click on the button that says it takes you straight to my listings. You can click on another button, it takes you straight to my home buying booklet. So it's a download. So I think those are things that people don't understand. And also, guys, this is something that I really, really wanted to share because I am always on my agents about it. You all have a CRM built into realtor.com. And as a real estate agent, you have access to have a realtor.com profile. I feel it is the most slept on tool that agents ignore and maybe don't even know about. With us being in the time of a lot of identity theft and fraud and everything else, we have a lot of buyers and sellers that are very, very particular about dealing with agents, especially those that they can't verify, right? So if you are a real estate agent and I go to realtor.com and type your name in and it says agent not found, that is because you don't have a profile set up with realtor.com, and it's absolutely free because you are a licensed agent no matter what state you're licensed in. So for example, if you were to go to realtor.com and you click on the find a real estate agent, if you type my name in, the Crystell Harris, it's going to pull up my profile, and my profile has my description. It tells you what states I'm licensed in. It tells you everything about me, so that makes me searchable on realtor.com. That is one of the things that I think every agent should have, because if I am a potential buyer or seller, if I go to realtor.com, because everybody knows that realtor.com is a public website, and if I go to realtor.com and type your name in and you don't come up, I'm going to assume that you're not a licensed agent. A lot of consumers, they don't know that they can just go to Tennessee Real Estate Commission to find your license and see if you're licensed. And a lot of people don't know about that. So with that being said, if you don't have a profile, your profile set up on realtor.com, you are losing major, because a lot of people go there to get information about you and to determine if they want to work with you or not. And if you're not on there, but there's other agents that are with the same last name that you have, ironically, they're in the same state you are, I think that will be the person that they will reach out to. Realtor.com does a lot of business just off of clicks. So I think that is the most slept on tool that agents are not utilizing by setting it up. So once you go to your name, it'll show your name, but it'll show your profile's not added. All you have to do is scroll down to the bottom and it say, claim this profile. This is me. You click on that and it'll automatically allow you to put your credentials in, and it will set your account up, and always put your pictures, always put your introduction to yourself and what all of your credentials are. And that's what I do. And I get a lot of business, and I don't pay realtor.com for referrals, but I do get business because I utilize it often. And I make all of my clients go there to do referrals. So every time, well, I'm sorry, reviews. So every time I have a client close on a home, I send them an email. Hey, thank you so much for using me as your home girl. If you don't mind, please click this link. And that's also something that goes from my CRM. So all of the automation things that you don't have to do nothing but touch one button and it'll automatically send out everything it needs to send out, as long as you are entering the information that you should for the CRM to work, then it will work for you. Because I have about 3 listings, I think, in the past couple of months that I got strictly off of my CRM, and I didn't do anything.
Yeah, well done, and benefit from the SEO as well.
It works. It definitely works. This SEO is. I just actually updated mine on my HHRG team website. I updated and I can tell because I get a report every week, I believe, and it tells me how many times people search for my name and search for the different SEO hashtags that I put in for Harris and Harris Realty Group. So that is a great help. Absolutely.
Yeah, well said. And you said tons of business coming from social, but you're also, it seems that you are on the offense too, with creating things of value for your clients. The real estate planning guide, you do how to be Airbnb, how to get into that business. So offering, classes and tips. So, speak to how those ideas come to you and how that helps you not only, educate your clients, but, give them a reason to, contact you and join those classes and use those guides.
Yeah. So the Airbnb class that I started actually back in 2020. I bought our first property in 2019. It took a year to renovate it. So it took all of 2020, and then in 2021 we listed it, and we did over 100 grand in profit for that year for that property. And I just wanted to better advise my people of the city. Like, I just wanted people to know that the only form of investing does not have to be long-term rentals. Personally, I have never had a long-term rental, and what I mean by long-term rental is having a lease, a 1-year or a 2-year lease with a tenant. So in short-term rental, the verbiage is different. In short-term rental, I wanted to let people know what the difference is between a short-term and long-term tenant. Long-term tenants, you have so much more responsibility with those, because if they've lived in a property for over 30 days and received mail there, then unfortunately that person is a tenant. But if they have not been in the property, hence a short-term rental, then they are a guest, and you can evict them and put them out with, of course, with a law involved. But I've never had any issues with that. But a lot of people don't understand how investing work, and that's what I wanted to educate people here and let them know, that you can have short-term rentals or you can have an investment property, because long-term investing was not my form of investing. That's not something that I was interested in, never have been. But short-term investing, not only it pays you more if you market it and if your property is producing. So each property, you can determine how much you'll make a month. You can't determine, or ever, nobody can even determine for you, but there are tools and websites and all of these things that I've learned in the process of me owning the couple that we own. I've made sure to document all of these different things so people won't make the same mistakes that I made. So those classes became very popular here And anybody a part of my team, I always allow them to come at no charge. So even with, I had a business class to show you how, because that's one thing that they don't teach you in real estate school. You will be a real estate agent, but one thing they can't teach you is how to do your back office stuff, how to keep track of all of your documents, how to even document, how to be how to claim what's the claim on your taxes as a real estate agent. What are some things that you can do? So being a real estate agent is way more than just selling homes and putting contracts on houses, doing paperwork. It's also a lot of back office too. And I think that that's where a lot of us get caught up at the end of the year. We're so caught off guard because we literally are turned into entrepreneurs without even knowing, because we're so caught up in the hustle and bustle of trying to get business, trying to promote. We're trying to, network and everything. And the last thing we're thinking about is, okay, well, I need to be more organized. Or so I created the planner. All of my agents have one. I give them one upon coming over. So once I recruit anybody that comes over, they get a welcome box, and in this welcome box comes a nice little engraved glass, wine glass, or a cognac glass with everything that's HHRG. I have the planner. We have the notepad, a pen, all of those different things that are related to HHRG. So I do in a shirt with the logo on it. But I think that for me, I would definitely say it's definitely educating is what I do best. And I always wanted to let people know that, because when you hear Airbnb, is really, that is just a portal. Airbnb is simply just a short term. With VRBO, you have furnish finders. So I just wanted to educate the city to let them know that there is another form of investing outside of owning long-term rentals, and they became very popular.
Yeah, I talk about building trust, but it sounds to me like you are helping a lot of people. Like
that's my ultimate calling, and I love doing. I'm able to do that through real estate.
Yeah. Client care, you spoke about it.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from the social, do you have a set touch point to your database? Do you have A-list clients? Do you talk about how often I would hear from you if I was one of your past clients? Do you have kind of a marketing, um, touch point to hit your database? What else
Yeah.
do you do besides push out the video content?
So I do follow 90% of my clients. I do have followed for many years. Prior to this, I've been an entrepreneur since 2010. So I've been having the same following, and it grows and grows every year, luckily, thankfully. But I have a CRM, and embedded in that, every time I close on a property, I automatically add their name, their address, and their closing date. So my CRM instantly emails them every 1 year for their anniversary of the sale, whether it's 1 year, 1, 2, 3, or 4. And in the verbiage of that, in the body of the email, it states that, hey, you made another year as a homeowner. I know things could have changed, between now and then. If you are wanting to upgrade, if you're wanting to downsize, please don't hesitate to give me a call. You can click this link to get a free evaluation of the value of your home. So all of that stuff is embedded in my CRM. I can't produce and be an effective leader if I'm having to sit at my desk all day, every day, remembering to email people on the day of their anniversary. That's just not realistic. So that is why I respect my CRM, because it is set up now that I actually plug the information in. It is now set up to where it does all that for me. So on a regular, if I think of a post or something that happened, or because I'm really personal with my clients, if I think of something relating to what they like, I shoot them a text message. Hey, I saw that you just upgraded your home. Send me some pictures. Or do you need? I saw you upgrading your home. Do you need any advice on picking out tile? Because that's what I love to do. So I do keep in contact with a lot of my clientele, and it's just maybe the ones that are not on social media, but I still shoot text to them as well. So I do have different forms and outlets to communicate with my clients, and for them to see me on a daily basis on social media. That's one of the things that I will say, because I interact a lot with a lot of my previous clients via social media.
Nice, very good. Yeah, it sounds like you really have the combination of, automating things, using technology,
That's
getting
important.
across your
Kurt,
personality
automation is so
too,
important, Kurt.
also,
It's so important.
being the expert as well. Very good. What about the next thing? What are you seeing recently that you're using more, or are you thinking about getting a license in other states, or you say you're kind of in your sweet spot with the size of your team?
Mhm.
Do you and your team set goals each quarter or each year? And what are you working on or thinking about for 2025?
So what I love about the agents here, we all have our lane per se that we kind of stay in. We have a commercial division. The commercial division does commercial real estate, which I am very supportive of that. We have a lady here that does property management, and she's an active real estate agent. She is very experienced. So we have a lot of different lanes that we stay in, and all of us respect that person in their lane, so nobody is saying, oh, you're doing this because I'm doing it. There is no comparison here, and we always give advice when advice is needed. We're all in a group chat. We have what they call group me app on our phone, and on that group me app we all can go in there and just vent, and we can ask questions. So every day, you'll have a agent to come in and say, hey, have you guys experienced this, and have you experienced that? Due to a lot of us having personal lives, it's really kind of difficult to get us all together at one time on a certain day or certain time. So we do a lot of things virtually. The only time that I will call for a mandatory meeting is if there's going to be like a contract change or a law change, like we just had with the changes that we had to do with the buyer's agency agreement
Yeah.
with that whole situation. So I did sit it. I made everybody come and be mandatory on that, and we talked about the updated changes made to the contracts. But I'm not really huge on trying to forcefully have people come in and interrupt their lives, because everybody has stuff going on with their spouses and their children, and everything in between real estate. So I always make myself readily available. So if anybody ever needs me for any reason, they always know they can recall or text message or email or whatever the case may be, depending on the urgency of it. That's one thing I do love about of the agents here, that we do support each other. So if I'm not available, if they text me, they'll put it in the group text, and by the time you look up, we'll have 5 or 6 responses on giving them 6 different tips or answers to their questions. So that is something that we do as a team as a whole here.
Very good. Well, can't thank you enough. You're doing
Absolutely.
great work on that. And then another question I had was the importance of being a part of the community and
Mm.
your network, or to talk about how you are involved in your local community and source business that way.
I am extremely involved in the community. Again, as I mentioned before, I'm always doing things. What I have learned though now, the older I get actually, in this field, I don't do it publicly no more. At first I was thinking, I always thought I would get more support if I publicly announced any kind of community um, things that I was doing for people, and people in particular. So I kind of got out of that. So what I do now is I reach out to the local child care. Like if I instead of doing a back to school drive, I contact the different daycare centers and say, hey, do you know any children there that are less fortunate, that may, because they know personally if these people, need assistance, or if they have like they're kind of more needed than others. So I do reach out to that, and I don't announce it on a public platform, only
Mhm.
because I have realized after just reading and noticing how it makes me feel when I see people walking up to homeless people, giving them food on camera. That just kind of, for me personally, I don't agree with that. So a lot of the community outreach things that I do them internally. So I will reach out to the daycare centers or to the nursing homes, or I reach out to the homeless women shelters. I reach out to all of those different places. As a team, we always come together and do those things, but we don't publicize it. It's something that we do internally, and we accomplish it and we move on.
Very good. One of our core values: grow for good, give
Yeah,
back. Um,
absolutely.
Again, on behalf of all of our companies here, I want to thank you. You're lovely, and
Thanks for having me.
congratulations on your success. And I don't know
Thank
how you're
you.
doing with your work balance and your family and your kids. And again, all the best for the upcoming year, and thanks for
Thank
joining
you.
us and our agent audience. If anyone has, lots of great kudos coming in on the chat, but if we have specific
Thank
questions for you,
you.
we'll be sure we reach out. But thank you,
Awesome.
Crystell Harris. You're
Thank
lovely.
you. Thank you. And I wish you guys the best. I hope you have all the business ever. So yeah, if you need any questions, reach out to me. I would love to answer them for you.
Very good.
Hmm.
Appreciate it.
Thanks,
And
Kurt.
you're welcome. And on behalf of the, again, the entire rate family of companies, I'd like to thank you for being a part of this webinar.
Thanks for
Look for
having me.
future webinars. First Wednesday of every
Absolutely.
month, we're doing on some non-QM, how that can benefit you as an agent next month. But thanks, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Crystell.
Thank you.